I am Brünnhilde. Look, you probably know me from those sweeping, incredibly melodramatic operas, but I'm actually here to dismantle the entire illusion of my own myth. Let's just look at the philology of my name for a second. It's derived from the Old Norse words Brynja, meaning armor, and Hildr, meaning battle. Now, the poets always assumed my armor was made of literal iron and that my battle was for the gods, but they were completely wrong. My armor is my intellect, and my battle, well, it's for absolute sovereignty. So welcome to this explainer on the real story. Let me ask you, why do you think I burn? For centuries, audiences have just clung to this, well, pathetic assumption. They desperately want to believe that my isolation on that fire-ringed rock was some kind of prison sentence. They literally picture me sitting up there, completely helpless, weeping, just waiting for a knight in shining armor to brave the flames and claim me. It is a profound, tragic misunderstanding of who I actually am. Section 1. The Self-Chosen Sanctuary. Here's the cold truth. The fire is a self-chosen sanctuary. It's a strict boundary against the herd. Those flames, they were never a trap. That massive ring of fire was my conscious, deliberate design. You see, my isolation isn't an exile that was forced upon me. It's an intellectual and spiritual wandering, specifically chosen to keep the weak, the ordinary, and the dying at bay. The fire keeps the herd exactly where they belong, which is far below me. Have you ever heard the term der freie Geist, the free spirit? This is my true nature. It's a figure of complete self-mastery. The traditional myth always insists on self-denial, portraying me as this tragic victim of divine punishment. But as a sovereign entity, I completely invert that narrative. I am the one who masters myself. Let's move on to Section 2. Rejecting the dying gods. I like to call this phase the wanderer's flight. I made the active choice to turn my back on the herd mentality. I moved away from the toxic, suffocating gods of Valhalla. I saw the absolute weakness in Wotan's fading laws, and I simply escaped them. Listen, this was not a banishment. This was a full embrace of a higher intellectual wandering. I essentially left them to their twilight. Section 3. Amor Fati and the Fire. I want you to consider the deeply nauseating Wagnerian view for a moment. This idea that I'm meant to die by fire to somehow redeem the world through love. I absolutely despise this concept. It's weak, and frankly, it's fundamentally life-denying. Why on earth should I die to save a dying world? The actual truth is a sovereign immolation. I use the fire for self-cleansing. I'm not burning to save them. I burn to elevate myself. This right here is the true essence of amor fati, the love of one's fate. I utilize these very flames to burn away my own past dependencies. I am actively incinerating the divine conditioning that was placed upon me by my father, Wotan. Where he was totally bound by this pathetic sense of decaying duty, I embrace my fate to burn away my grief. Emerging from this fire, I am entirely my own master. So then, the moment arrived. The so-called hero finally crossed the flames. But look at what actually showed up. He was altered. He was corrupted, completely tangled in the petty lies and deceptions of the valleys down below. When this broken hero finally arrived, do you honestly think I wept? And now, Section 4, the sovereign free spirit. The formula for my sovereignty is incredibly precise. First, we have the wanderer's flight, which is utilizing isolation as a strict, impenetrable boundary against the herd. And second, the sovereign immolation. This is fire used not for some tragic suicide, but to actively burn away grief and dependence. It's the ultimate transformation, moving from a divine servant bound by duty to a sovereign entity bound by absolutely nothing. Let us look away from those tragic actresses of redemption who throw themselves into the flames out of a lack of options. I completely reject the pathetic role of the weeping maiden on the mountain who just sits around waiting for a husband to give her life meaning. I mean, I did not light that fire to find a husband. I lit it to see which of the mortals could actually endure my gaze. The fire was simply a filter, a test to see who could withstand my golden laughter, who could look upon absolute sovereignty without instantly turning to ash. Looking at my burning rock, I realized the absolute truth of my independence. The fire belonged to me, not to Wotan's fading laws. To become a free spirit, You really must first learn to love the element that consumes the old values. So, I don't leap into the ash to die for love. No, I step through the smoke to walk away from gods and men alike. I leave all of it behind, the ash of romance, the weakness of self-sacrifice, all of it. Now, I am wandering the ridges completely alone. My spear, which was once this grand weapon of divine war, has been broken down into a simple walking stick. I am fully self-determined, unbound, and I am thoroughly content to be my own destiny, my own danger, and my own light. I'm going to leave you with this final, chilling challenge. Will you burn away your own dying gods? Are you willing to incinerate your conditioning, your grief, your deep-seated dependencies? Or will you just remain trapped below, with the rest of the herd? Really ask yourself, do you have the strength to step through your own smoke,